Welcome to the exhibition Walk on the Water. I'm Jakob Lena Knebl, the artist curator of this show. I was invited by director Marc-Olivier Wahler to work with the fantastic and vast collection of the house. Please follow me to the wardrobe, which is in the hall on your right side. We are already in the middle of the exhibition. I will go into the individual settings after you handed in your coats. We meet again at the entrance of the hall. I start with a few notes about my methods, explaining my approach. When I curate a show in a museum as an artist, I develop alternative forms of presentation that deconstruct the classic canon of museum presentations. My approach to the collection is always very personal. I commute back and forth between work that is already close to me and work that is unknown to me, which I may even find difficult. The exhibition displays and settings that I have developed are often reminiscent of interior design. I'm interested in the transfer between the private and the public. When we visit an exhibition, we try to find things that are familiar to us, with which we can identify in order to find a way into the story. Everyone lives in rooms. Everyone has furniture. Everyone dresses. High and low are brought to the same level. Consulting the everyday should invoke a more democratic approach to an exhibition. By drawing our attention to the things that surround us, I want to mediate more complex contents. In front of us is a setting that reminds us of a shop. Mannequins are wearing historic clothes of the collection. The shop window is printed with an oversized reproduction of Scène de Déluge. This drawing fascinates me immensely. It bears a kind of aggressive eroticism. I'm interested in fetishism, the question of what attracts us and what effect these has on our identities. A focus on body parts, on a certain material, a certain situation. Human-thing relationships, also called objectophilia. Perhaps you have heard of people who even go so far as to marry things. Please now enter this hybrid between a shop and a museum display. You see clothes, accessories, shoes and hats of the collection, combined with historical portraits representing the fashion of the time. This setting is dominated by different visualizations of women in art history, such as those by Carlos Schwabe, which became the key works of the show. For me, they are reminiscent of pulp fiction horror comics from the 1970s. The huge reproduction of La Fontaine Personnifiée by Agasse, a fantastic work that many associate with the MAH, serves as a display for historical portraits. Here you meet a sculpture by Auguste Angst called Le Vent, which I discovered with awe, unrestored and wrapped up in plastic during my forays through the vaults of the collection. Shoes from the collection are circling on a running sushi conveyor belt. The idea was to create a situation which is dedicated to the figure of the flaneur, a literary protagonist who appeared at the end of the 19th century. He or she strolls aimlessly through the streets to watch and be seen and be reflected in the shop windows.